Because obviously they played against Embiid so many times. What's the strategy against him, and as far as executing that, what do you think you were able to do to have the kind of game you had?
I think just trusting the game plan that the coach kind of handed us. Usually like to watch some of the clips of the previous games they had. Obviously, Joel is a great player, so I think we tried to throw him different looks the whole night. But obviously, I had to guard him. But you know, when you play players like a player like that, is always a team effort. And thank God, you know, everything kind of worked out for us. You know, we were really focused on helping one another. You know, and I think everybody did a good job. Just looking at plus minus, I think throughout the game. You know, our second units was able to sustain us. You have DJ1 who played extremely great. You have Terrence who also played extremely great. Child campaign. So we just played for each other and trying to make sure we can maintain that throughout the game.
How much is your energy impact in terms of playing against Joel? Because if there's a loose ball, you got the ball. If there's a play to be made, you were making those hustle plays. How big is that when you're playing against him?
I think game like this, just trusting your instinct, and then kind of understanding how you can impact the game. I know that he's gonna have the ball a lot, so you gotta rely on your instinct a lot. But also just watching film, you know, knowing his tendency and see what he's looking for. I don't know how many free throws he got, but I think he got a lot of free throws at some point. I was like, man, you know, he's just living on the free throw line, but at the same time, you know, it's just good to see the team get a win, you know, us getting a little break and, you know, kind of regroup and trying to get his team rhythm and trying to figure out, you know, so overall, I think, you know, we all did a good job. The energy was there from the jump, you know, we sustained that throughout the game. I think that was the game plan. We tried to start the third quarter better. I think inside we gave a lot of points, so that was also one of the big emphasis. When you look at the game yesterday, they were blitzing book, and then us being able to find, you know, the guy cutting off the corner and then just kind of shifting, just finding an open man and getting good looks, and obviously making sure that we're doing that tonight. So overall, I think we did a good job. Book was really reading on the trapping and finding an open man, and us being able to help him make the right play. So, just like I said, execute the game plan.
To your point about that, Monty was saying he could feel the intention in the locker room after the way last night's game went and the remorse of not finishing the job. Just how much did you feel that focus and energy brought here tonight?
Honestly, I usually take like an hour nap. I think halfway to my nap, maybe 30 minutes in, I was like, nah, I'm out of this, you know. And I got here at 3 o'clock, I just went on the floor, just trying to get a feel of the game and the ball, and then just kind of getting rid of some of that stuff that happened yesterday. Obviously, just thank God, you know. My brothers, my sisters, we had a little group text that we were just talking about, you know, things that went down yesterday and how we could have done better, how I could have done better. If anybody that know them always keep me accountable, you know, outside of my teammate, it's always my family, you know, my brothers, my sisters, my mom, and they're straightforward, and they still pray for me, so, so I'm extremely blessed to have them, but, you know, Coach said one thing, I think I said it earlier, when things are not going well, I think you just ask the question randomly, what do you do? You know, I think somebody was like, you just gotta put your head down and keep working, and eventually you catch that break, you know. And for us, I think yesterday we played great, we could have done better, we made some mistakes down the stretch, but it's just that sometimes you do everything you're supposed to do in the game and going your way. I think we've kind of had that stretch, but you know, I'm glad we got a win tonight against a really good team. Now we just got to regroup tomorrow, watch film, correct our mistakes, which I still think we made some mistakes defensively, and especially me while guarding Joel. I think there's some fouls that, you know, I kind of give him those fouls. Meanwhile, you know, understands the frustration from a team perspective. You know, we really are giving go back and watch film and correct that and look forward to using it.
And with the ref, with the ref, as you say, giving a lot of whistles and you guys being short, and DA
Right.
stepping up and having the guard and beats, how do you balance trying to stay on the floor, not getting in foul trouble as you did, but having the 5 blocks, which are your season high, and deciding what to go after, what to basically stay grounded with?
Man, you know, in a game like this, I think one, if you watch a lot of the clip, I was pulling my hand back a lot because basically the ref was like, if you have your hands back and you're running twos, those are not a foul, you know. And I think when we start doing that, obviously we're not getting calls, but you know, block shots, like defense, I think I always go with my instinct, to be honest. Of blocking shots is just instinct and trusting that my teammate's gonna cover for me. And I think there was one play towards the end of the first half, I think towards the end of the second quarter, where Yoel was coming full speed. I jumped in the air, basically I had my arm up, but then Torrey Craig came and got a block shot. I didn't know he got a block shot, but then somebody told me he got the block shot. And then he said, you know, you always get our back and I got your back, which is something that the coach always says. So sometimes it's just relying on your teammate and them trusting you that you're gonna be there for them, and then knowing that when you need them, they're gonna be there for you. And I think that's what we kind of rely on, especially, you know, with the struggle that we've been dealing with the past few games. Hopefully we can get that break now and focus on the next games and trying to figure out this whole rhythm that we need as a team.
So last year, before and after you got here, you guys put in a solid effort every night.
Mm-hmm.
Why is it so difficult this year to put in a full effort from the first tick of the clock to the end, like you did tonight? Why are you finding it difficult on other nights not to do that?
I think when you look at our team this year, we probably had more injuries than we did last year.
We had a lot
From the
last year.
beginning of the season. We had a lot, but it's not the same this year.
Also COVID last year.
You know, exactly. So, but you know, when we started the season, the rhythm of the team, if you look at it, I think since November, we were never healthy, you know. At least a lot of times last year we were healthy and there is a consistent rotation from everybody, but this year, since November, we really haven't even got a whole team together. And probably 1 or 2 games this year, we had a chance to do that since November. So why is that? Honestly, man, we've dealt with a lot of it, and then you have the trade coming, you have new guys that gotta get adjusted to the system. So it's a lot that has happened this year, but again, that is not an excuse. We're still professional. We have a great coach that put a great game plan every night in place for us to execute. And like I said, sometimes you go out there, you give your best, and things just don't go your way, you know. And I think for us, the coach always say, you put your head down, you keep working, and eventually things gonna work out. So that's what we're gonna keep doing. Every night we're gonna show up, we're gonna compete, and then we see what happens, and we control what we can control, and we trust the coach.
My next question about block shots is, how do you keep the ball in play, you know, for the fact that Monty and Chris were talking about, you know, the best defensive stops create the best offense, and you know, getting back in transition to score off those stops.
I always try to pay attention to my teammates, seeing where they are when I'm going to block the shot. Usually block the shot from the weak side, so there's a guy behind trailer. So as I block the shot, I'm blocking ideally. So either tap it on the glass or tap it over there so he can grab it, and then we can get a fast break. So basically, I try to observe my teammates, honestly. And then when you have a guard driving, it's kind of like instinct where you know, like, when they drive, there is usually a big running behind, and you trust that the guy, you know, behind you will cover for you. And if you leave the ball in play, you know, they're gonna lead eventually to a fast break. I think there was one shot blocked today that also they got offensive rebound and dunk it. So you can't get it perfect, but you try your best to make those plays and keep the ball in play so we can run the other way.
Thanks, Vince.